For those of you that didn't catch my last two live streams, I've already covered a little bit off on the topics of law of assumption, which was a term that was coined by Neville Goddard, but very much the Hermetic law. It's a universal law, and it's essentially all about how everything on the outside is appearing as a reflection of your state. Good evening, TT fan. Hi guys. Hey. And for those of you that didn't catch my last two live streams, I did speak about sort of like the basic principles. I also discussed about tarot and how tarot is an excellent tool to give you an understanding of what is going on in your current circumstances and can be a very accurate tool for predicting outcomes in your current reality that you are experiencing, but essentially that everything is a manifestation of you. And you are creating your circumstances, and that everyone within your reality is a reflection of your states. But today I also, oh, Bella, you're so sweet. You're always here. Thank you very much. I love that I'm your favorite. I wanted to just quickly talk also a little bit about the concept of nobody has free will in your reality. So this is something interesting that, oh,
How are you?
someone's joined
How are you?
my live stream. I don't know what
Nice. Okay.
No, I'm going to
Wait.
decline. We're stuck with a frozen co-host. Well, you're winning anyway. Thanks, TT fan. Okay, should I just continue talking about what I was talking about? Because it seems like One Hand Champ is frozen anyway. Okay, I just had to hop off and hop back on. For those of you that were on the live stream before, or for those of you that are new, that are joining, I wanted to continue what has been a theme with my live stream so far, where I'm fusing law of assumption and tarot, and I'm chatting to you guys a little bit more about how you can use both in order to get more desirable outcomes and to actually quantum shift into new timelines and new realities and manifest your desires. So a lot of you know me already as a tarot reader, and definitely my YouTube community know me as being a person that fuses law of assumption and tarot, and certainly my private clients know this about me. So for those of you that have just joined that need a refresher, I am a tarot reader, I'm a psychic, but I also assumption principles, and I always say that the tarot is just a snapshot of basically your current circumstances, past, present, and future on a current timeline, and it gives a very accurate picture of what is occurring, what has occurred, and what could potentially. And this is where predictions come into it. You can make very accurate predictions if no adjustments are made. And essentially everything on the outside is a reflection of your state. People are trying to join these. I'm just going to have to keep declining these battles, guys. Everything on TT, haven't seen you for ages, TT. I know, right? It's been a while. It's been a minute. Anyway, so everything on the outside is a reflection of state. And the state is who you're embodying, right? So your identity, which is then made up of your core beliefs, unconscious, or if you make them conscious, you can change your beliefs, which is your daily thoughts, your actions, your inactions, your reactions, essentially who you're embodying and who you see yourself as. Creation is finished. There are infinite versions of you existing at one time and infinite versions of a specific person, and therefore nothing is impossible. So I wanted to emphasize, hi guys, and everyone that's joining, I wanted to emphasize, you know, a little bit more what I've been talking about on the live streams, where the tarot should not be seen as something that is like a predictor with a fixed outcome. For example, a lot of you always ask about specific person, and you use the tarot as a tool to see what, you know, the focus is very much on how do they feel about you? Are they going to come back? Do they want you? Are they going to leave a third party, etc., etc.? Now, not to diss psychic readings, they're very, very accurate as a picture to what's going on in your current 3D circumstances and reality. However, I already explained earlier in the live that there are infinite timelines and realities existing all at one time, infinite versions of you and infinite versions of a specific person. And once you can master this and understand it, you also can understand that you can absolutely select a new version of the situation, the circumstance, through first and foremost embodying a new version of self, and then creating new assumptions, because the law of assumption is essentially that whatever you assume is going to show up. And your assumptions are connected to basically, like I said, who you're embodying. So that is, how are you thinking, behaving, What are your thoughts, actions, inactions, reactions? One thing I wanted to cover off today is that no one actually has free will in your reality, and that may be controversial to hear for some. However, I wanted to explain that if you are watching tarot and you're believing that the outside is happening and that certain specific circumstances are fixed, I wanted to give you guys some tips and understand. Kiwi says, I agree. Yeah, no one has free will in your reality. So Neville Goddard talks about this a lot, and the law of assumption essentially confirms this if you go and look into the law. So essentially you are the God of your reality, and so you are experiencing everything through your identity, through your state, and you do have infinite. Therefore, if you are experiencing a version of a situation and a person is showing up in a certain way, it's almost like you have assigned them a type of a role. You may have done that unconsciously. Now I'm helping make the unconscious conscious. So if you wanted someone to shift, this is about shifting your own identity, your state, because the outside must reflect back to you who you are being. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, I gave a lot of information about this in the last live stream, but essentially it's who you are being. So manifesting is all about your identity, your state, of which there are infinite. I've already said that. So once you decide that your circumstances are, say, not quite what you want in a specific situation, then you need to identify as a version of a person that has that which you desire. And you will naturally then embody the assumptions, the thoughts, etc. You will act and behave in a certain type of a way, and the outside must then reflect back to you who you identify as. And said specific person has no free will in your reality. They must then conform to who you are being. And also this is where you incorporate manifestation techniques that a lot of coaches recommend, which is like you can do affirmations and people will absolutely say, do, and shift according to what you are affirming, okay? So this is where we understand that actually nobody does have free will in your reality. They are literally showing up as a reflection of how you see yourself, who you believe yourself to be, and also how you therefore see them. They're going to reflect that back to you. So it's very important to get you out of feeling like everything is happening outside to you and allow you to take back control and feel self-empowered and understand that you can absolutely select a new version of circumstances, a new version of SP, or anything that you want. Nothing is impossible. You're absolutely limitless. Okay, guys? You are limitless. Everything exists all at once. So first and foremost, most important thing I think is self-concept work, and so that is who you're identifying as, what state you are in, and knowing that the outside must then reflect back to you who you are. I don't know why One Hand Champ, guys, is trying to join again, for those of you who hopped on before. I've got a lot of people trying to battle me, but they're just, I don't know who. See, he's very persistent. One Hand Champ. Yes, infinite possibilities, user 502674. Exactly. It's very distracting, this One Hand Champ situation. Anyway, guys, so getting back to the topic of no one has free will in your reality, okay? So what I want you guys to do is to understand that when we're doing the tarot, and you're watching the tarot and you're seeing, the tarot can tend to be, especially with very mini readings that a lot of you guys are watching online, they tend to be very focused on what that person is doing, thinking, etc., what they're going to do. Are they going to text? Are they going to call? And then you guys tend to get very, not all of you, but a lot of you I've noticed in the comments and in the communities, you get very sort of addicted to the tarot as the decider, and then also get, you know, pulled up and down, feeling like that's very predetermined, okay? Someone's saying just block him, Miss Cat. Yeah, when he pops up again, I'll do that. Or I've got my moderator, so she's on to it. Are you on? Melissa, do your job. No, I'm giving you a crap. Thank you, Teddy Bear. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thanks to the Teddy Bear. Oh, Johan, I appreciate that. So guys, back to what I was saying. So a lot of you are watching tarot, and I definitely try to do this in a different way when I do my YouTube readings. And so I encourage any of you, and it's not just like a hard sell, I just want to give you an alternative and a way of understanding how you can use tarot but also shift outcomes. in alignment with what I'm already saying, you guys can go and subscribe to my channel, or just go and watch some of the videos I do bi-weekly zodiac readings. But I always emphasize what your SP is thinking about you, what you're thinking about them, a possible outcome prediction for what's coming in. So even if it is communication, or even if something looks like no communication, or there's an argument brewing, or you've been going round and round, like I said to you guys, it's like a snapshot and an imprint of where you're at on a current timeline with a person, and they're still going to show up as a reflection to what you are embodying, the state you're embodying, and also your assumptions about them. So the tricky thing is, guys, and I spoke about this also in the last live stream, no one has free will in your reality. So in order to get a different result, if you keep going around and around in a situation and looking outside at what said specific person is doing or saying, etc., and waiting for the outside to shift, then you're not going to get a different result. So in order to really utilize the law to actually shift and get what you want, shift into a new timeline, you're going to need to deny the circumstances that are unfavorable, and really embody that state, okay? The new version of you that knows without question that you have that which you desire, and make new assumptions about that person. So this can be very difficult when we've already had a build-up of experiences. Say we've had past experiences where things haven't gone our way, or we have one specific person where we have already built up certain assumptions that they're going to show up in a certain way. And a lot of you want to manifest back specific people, but you have a lot of hurt attached to that particular connection. Okay, now it could be controversial for some of you, but it's going to be very empowering if you can actually take full responsibility. If I said to you, you're the God of your reality, and that you have essentially created everything in your experience, and someone is just showing up like a character in your show and conforming to certain beliefs that you might have about yourself, say subconscious beliefs about not being worthy, not being enough, etc. And then you have a person come in and you say, love this person very much, but they show up in some kind of a way that's a bit unfavorable, and then that then supports that subconscious belief, and then you could maybe even go in and out with this person. This is where we talk about hot and cold. You might even manifest that person back in, but they keep showing up according to that old belief, because you haven't changed the belief, you haven't shifted into the identity of a person that doesn't have that belief about self. Or you've also now got a supportive evidence from your interactions with them that they are that person, okay? And you feel like this is who they are, so you're holding on very much to the old story of them, which essentially what you have created, guys. In order to reinforcing the point that I started with on this live, guys, when you can really understand the true power that you have and the fact that you're the one that's creating everything, you become unbothered by circumstances. You also become unbothered by certain readings. If a reading says to you, oh, they're coming in and then they're going to go out again, or they are quote unquote hot and cold, or they are available, or they are whatever they are, okay? This is where I want to help you to incorporate the idea of no one has free will in your reality. So don't hold on or get anchored into an idea about a person and then allow readings to keep reinforcing your assumption about them, which is essentially something that you created from some limiting belief that you have about yourself. If you want that person to go from hot and cold to hot, 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 communicate more, choose you, love you, etc., you absolutely can, because there's infinite versions of you, as I said, and there's infinite versions of this person existing right now as creation is finished. Now, the person has no free will. They have to show up in your reality according to what you assume. So again, check your assumptions about specific persons, specific circumstances, specific situations. Do this from a place where you actually understand that even if your current circumstances, what you can taste, touch, smell, and hear and feel, or how they are showing up in your current physical 3D experience right this moment, as soon as you say, I don't care, I'm embodying new self because I created that anyway, and I'm now selecting new identity that no longer has a certain belief that was being reflected back, and I'm denying what's going on and I'm making new assumption about this person. So I have to break that pattern by doing that. Whether or not it happens in 2 seconds, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen because the outside must reflect back what you assume to be true and the state that you're embodying and your beliefs about you and your beliefs about them, okay, your assumptions. So that was something that I really wanted to emphasize to you guys. Let's see. Lise, thank you. I've learned to ignore the built-up resentment. Yes, imagine the outcome regardless. So this is where we talk about living in the end. And so we don't need to mess with the middle either. That's also, it's a term that gets thrown around in the law of assumption community. And I think Neville Goddard discusses it. And so when we talk about not messing with the middle, taking back your power is really understanding that denying all current physical circumstances, you already know that as soon as you have decided who you are, right? And I said to you, you are the version of self that gets what you want. You are the version of self that is loved. You are the version of self that is receiving consistent communication, loyalty, respect. You are the version of self that has X relationship with specific person. You've already decided, therefore you've already quantum shifted into that timeline, okay? And so you have to understand that all the pieces are moving around, and it doesn't matter if something doesn't immediately appear differently. You have to persist that it's already, basically you have it, it's already there, and you will, if you can persist in that. No one has free will in your reality. They will shift, okay? And I wouldn't say that if I hadn't tested the techniques myself and seen it, and that if I didn't have success with my clients. Any advice on how to get an SP to show up correctly after a lesson? Then ideal first, I can't read the entire first reconnect. Is that what you're saying? A first all I see is dash. Yeah, a first reconnect. Yes, okay, so there's still, that's, the reconnect tells me that there is movement, okay? So first and foremost, when we say the less than ideal, examine first and foremost your less than ideal, okay? Again, I feel like the less than ideal, it's because there's partly a reflection of old version of the connection, which, you know, if you've had a reconnect, there was a disconnect. So the disconnect happened because there was an old version of you that you were embodying, and that person was reflecting back some limiting belief, okay? Now, again, we've understood that, and that subconscious belief is now conscious. So I would say persisting in the idea that it doesn't matter how the reconnect happened and what your perception of that is. Perception is just what you're experiencing, right? So I would say not focus on the fact that it's less than ideal. Focus on what the ideal is and persist in that, okay? And you will also to start to perceive things very differently, because guys, you're embodying the identity of a person that doesn't have a belief that's contrary to you having what you desire. And this is also where the outside behaviors that you're experiencing are going to change as well. This is why the outside is the mirror, right? So if you do have, say, certain beliefs that people are like, you know, not honest, or maybe you have had old experiences where you've been cheated on, etc., or a specific person has. And guys, it's totally up to you if you want to continue with a certain specific person. I'm not here pushing onto anyone to take anyone crappy, right? But I'm just saying, a lot of you want a person regardless. That's why you go on the tarot, and then I see a lot of people making comments like that are very upset still about old behaviors, but then obviously they're still very connected to those people. So what we have to understand is we cannot manifest people back in and hold on to the idea that they are pieces of crap, okay? Right? Do you understand? The word is reappearance. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So there was a reappearance, there was a disconnect, then a reappearance, but then it was less than ideal because maybe it wasn't like, this is again where perception's interesting, right? So, and I talked my last live stream, so guys, you can go and watch that replay. But like your perception, right, again, it's coming down to who you're identifying as, and you have certain belief systems. So if you have a belief that people, or old experiences where you get hot and cold, in and out behavior, or avoidance, right, these are all labels and terms, but they are your experiences. Again, experiences, how you are experiencing a situation. A person is a character in your show and they must conform, right? And so you have those experiences, and then they come in, you manifest them back in, and then they go back out, or they behave like a little bit, the mirror gets wonky, okay? And that's because your beliefs you're still a little bit, you're in an adjustment period. Once you start doing this, you'll be more predominantly in the state where you're unbothered by circumstances, and also you're holding such a strong belief about self that you always get what you want no matter what, and that person is your ideal version of person, an ideal version of relationship. So you're less than ideal. Well, first of all, you know, this is like when people say someone is hot and cold, and I find that funny because it's like some people say someone's hot and cold and it's because they haven't texted it within 3 hours, and some people say hot and cold because people disappear for 5 years. Time doesn't really matter, etc. It's more about what is your belief and what is being reflected back to you when you say something is not ideal, or there is a hot and cold, or someone is an avoidant, or whatever. Change the story, okay, which is much easier once you have already changed the story of self, embodying new version of self. And I'm not sending you guys off now to do endless shadow work and heal forever. I'm saying it's like, if you can understand that there are infinite versions of you existing at any given time, what is the version of you that understands that you are limitless? Thinking creates your reality. Exactly, Cheryl Lee. Exactly. Hi, Kat. What is the version of you that understands that you are God of your reality, that you're the ultimate creator, and that who you are, okay? And once you decide what you want, first of all, if you want something, you already have it, okay? Now, a lot of you want something and then you get stuck on a timeline when you're unconscious, or you don't realize your thoughts are creating your reality. You have subconscious beliefs. They're getting in the way of your desire. So you want something, something feels really good, and then suddenly everything goes to crap. So now I'm just saying, it's like, what if you could embody the identity, the version of the person that knows, okay, first of all, I don't have any limiting beliefs. I don't have a self-concept issue. I love myself. I'm perfect. I always get what I want no matter what. Once I've made that decision that I get what I want, the outside doesn't shake me anyway, and the outside absolutely conforms and conforms. A lot of you will, once you've decided that, see that the world will start to mirror more and more of what you desire. And even if you have to wait a little bit, when I say wait, it's already there, but for the specific person to show up in the ideal, you will start to see changes, but you must persist in the knowing that you already have it, because you've decided, you're embodying that state. You may find that because specific person, you have a little bit more of a block. Visibility is not eligible. Your live may have shown. Apparently I'm restricted in live search because I've shown graphic content. I don't know why that is, guys, but anyway, is this taboo? What's people saying? I lost myself after having my baby for a while, but taking my power back. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that, Cheryl Lee. Create my reality the way I want it to be. Yeah. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. That's a really tough situation to go through, and I feel for you. I'm sending you a lot of love. But yes, I would say, you know, better for you. And I think you're very strong to do that. I admire you for that. I think, you know, living is in the now. It's never easy to mourn something like that. And I've also had losses in my life, so I can understand what loss is. But living in the now and deciding from the now, like, do we want to be anchored into old pain, old losses, old stories? And I'm in no way victim shaming, but I'm trying to tell you guys that, like, imagine if all that matters is the now and what you're creating from the now, which essentially means whatever your imagination can imagine already exists. So focusing more on the fact that in the now we can forget what has happened that's undesirable, and now start embodying the state of a person that gets more and more and more of what they actually desire, okay? And taking back our power rather than feeling like the outside just keeps happening to us. Old wounds only hold us back from living our dream life. Yes, yeah, Cheryl Lee. Yeah, proud of you. Card in the background. I know, I love this star card. I was just having a conversation with my girl who's here in the background. She's a moderator. She doesn't like to be on camera. And we were talking about what our favorite card is. Can anyone tell me what their favorite card is? Mine's the Empress, because that's my signifier. Right, guys? But tell me what your favorite card is. Have to hide it, lol. I don't know what that is. The restriction is the star card. Are you saying the restriction on my, On the age thing, I see, because it's got someone naked. It's like a naked thing. Gosh, TikTok's funny. Yes, okay. So do I need to move the background out? Now you get my balcony instead, guys. Is that good? Empress, because it's Taurus. I'm a Taurus ascendant. Yes. And also I love the Empress because I had an awakening through a twin flame Kundalini experience. And so I went on my whole like divine feminine journey. I spoke a bit about twin flames and whatnot in my last live stream, guys. So for anyone that's interested in my take on the twin flame journey, having personally gone through all of that, but I have a very different take than like the twin flame tarot community. You can also have a look at that replay on my YouTube Talzi Tarot channel. But that was quite a long, arduous thing, and I went through Dark Night of the Soul and all of that. And but I have realized now, after some 6 years later, that we're actually just pure consciousness. And so what I think is we don't need to get anchored into labels with soulmates, twin flames, karmics, etc. I'm banging on about this now very randomly as a segue because it is actually relevant to what I've been talking about earlier in this live stream and why I don't want you guys to be victims to, you know, first of all, tarot readings, secondly, labels, feeling like, you know, if no one has free will in your reality, which I already explained to you guys, like people can only show up according to a role that you assign them consciously or unconsciously. And if we get stuck in communities that tell us that someone outside of us, so you're meant to be with someone, but it's only meant to happen in divine timing because they are messed up and they need to heal, and all your focus is on of a person and that you need to heal endlessly, etc. Well, then you're stuck on this unrequited love story that goes on and on and on, and it's torturous. And I talked about this in my last live stream, guys. It's like, you know, people, there's infinite versions of you existing, and there's infinite versions of said specific person and situation existing. So I think even labels like calling people karmics and palming people off as bad people. I'm not telling anyone to take anyone that's abusive or dangerous. And sometimes also we do have strong soul connections with people that literally are just reflections, again, because everyone's a reflection, and we realize that we do take that lesson and we don't want them anymore, and that's totally fine because we've evolved. And we realize, again, because we are consciousness and we can have anything we want, we realize, well, maybe that's not suitable for me, or maybe there's something higher or more aligned with my highest truth, what makes me happiest, or what takes me to my next level. But again, guys, the labels don't matter. And if, say, X person is someone that you do want, you can manifest them back through separation. I don't care if they're called karmic, twin flame, or soulmate. None of that stuff matters, guys. You want, you can have anyone you want. Sometimes people manifest back in X person and they've done so much work on their self-concept, that person absolutely does shift and conform. They can come back completely different and reflect the hell out of your self-love and what you've now assumed. You've changed the whole story about them as well. You've done affirmations around them. They show up, they literally parrot back to you exactly what you want to say. They do what you want them to do. They embody the behaviors, but you also then might not want them, right? Which is very empowering. Labeling titles can be used as excuses. I agree, guys. So that's the thing, and that's why I really want to use these live streams more to talk about this, because I do feel, you know, I see that a lot in the comment sections of tarot, you know, and in my community, just in the straight tarot readings, a lot of people that they're very hurt and they're very frustrated by their circumstances, and it's very understandable, okay, because it's not nice when we have bad experiences or someone doesn't treat us the way we should be treated, right? You know, but again, what about taking our power back? So you never have to entertain a crappy version of a person, guys. Like if someone is not showing up the way that you want them to, you absolutely can set boundaries, or you can cut people out of your life. But again, what I get a lot in the comments is I see people that are half in that kind of, they're very blaming and they're in the victim consciousness, but they're also wanting that person to show up differently. So this is why I've done a live to talk about this, right? And so again, the labels and X is the focus is often too much on what that person is doing and saying and who they are and that they need to heal and they are an avoidant and they have unhealed wounds and all that. And so again, I'm just having this live today to just really help you guys. It's not a toxic view. We create our own reality. Thank you, Gina Marie. I'm really loving this community today, guys. You're all on the same page, which is fab. Michelle followed. Yeah, Poonam joined. Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. Does anyone have any questions about what I'm talking about this law of assumption, free will stuff, shifting timelines? Because I've been going on and on for quite a while, but we also had a disruption for anyone that joined. I had to hop off and then hop back on because we had some was it Magic Mike or I don't know, some random was trying to battle me. Pat F joined. Pia, hi. Where can I find your live about your twin flame journey? Okay, I didn't do a live all on my twin flame journey, but I talked about it and I referenced it because there was the issue of twin flames came up in the last TikTok live. I reposted the entire live stream on my YouTube channel, which is Talzi Tarot. So you can go and have a look. And I do discuss the twin flames, and I did a reading for Miss Ward, who isn't on today, who regularly, she's lovely. She comes on quite a lot, but she had a question because she's on a twin flame journey. So if you want to see what my take on that is, and I did her reading, you can have a look on the channel. Happy to come across someone with the same view about creating. Yeah, thanks Cheryl Lee, I appreciate that. It's such a bummer, guys, that I had to move the tarot divider because I love it, but apparently you can get flagged for anything on here. Hey, I'm sure, and I've been told I'm going through separation with a twin flame and it's awful. Okay, Ria, like I feel for you because I can't deny what a twin flame experience is because I went through it. I had like a very, very strong, energetic, I'm not just talking about a crush or an unrequited love thing. Like I actually went through a full-blown spiritual awakening, Kundalini activation through a very fast, quick thing that I had with a very chance-fated encounter with a person that then completely my life, and I felt that person and I had an in and out sort of thing with them. I went down the rabbit hole of that whole experience through the twin flame community, and I sort of got locked into a story where there is this endless, again, too much focus on being on a timeline, that person being a very strong mirror to you. Definitely I believe in soul connections, like I said, or twin flames or strong mirrors, but everyone is a mirror. So I'm trying to cut it short for you, okay, Ria? Treat it like it's a mirror, like any other mirror, because otherwise what you're doing is you're getting anchored in a timeline where, again, whatever you believe is going to be reflected back. If you believe that you are stuck on a journey of endless shadow work and you're waiting for someone outside of you, this person, to heal and to do X, Y, and Z, and there's the runner and the chaser and all that stuff, well, that is the timeline that you are on, and that is what you are believing, and that is what you are experiencing, and there are infinite versions of you existing at one time. I spoke about this at the beginning of the live, guys, and of course there are infinite versions of said specific person or / twin flame existing. So if you wanted to be with that person, you are already on a timeline where that is happening. You don't need to wait for them to heal, or you have unknowingly selected or met that twin flame on a timeline because they were meant to reflect back to you some strong light and some very strong shadow. So I agree with the twin flame community in that respect. I think they want you to quote unquote heal, but I'm telling you, you don't need to go and do endless shadow work and healing. You need to just embody a new identity. It's also an awakening, and an awakening is about realizing that you're just consciousness. Okay, there is no separation between you and anyone or anything. We are infinite beings, okay? Also existing, we're multidimensional, we're existing in infinite realities on infinite timelines. So if it's undesirable and you are unconscious, things were showing up and you felt like things were just happening to you, and now you're understanding that things are happening through you and you are the creator. And so the twin flame experience has shown you probably more strongly that there's no separation between you and anything, because that's why soulmates, you do feel people very strongly. You have the telepathy, you feel their energy and all that. So they are meant to awaken you in a sense to understand the whole idea that there is no separation between you and, say, another person. But effectively, there's no separation between you and anything and anyone. If you go through a Kundalini experience, doesn't mean that they are your twin. Or could it be a false? Again, I don't really care about the labels, false twin, real twin. And also, I don't ever tell my clients, this is your twin, this is not your twin, this is a karmic, this is not. I don't believe. Again, I think that everyone is showing up as a reflection. I say it was a twin flame experience because I don't actually know how else to explain what happened. It was too supernatural for me. And I feel like my clients, I always tell them, if you believe it's your twin, then I'm not going to deny to you that it is or it isn't. And I'm also going to not deny my clients their desires, guys. So in the end of the day, the way I do my private sessions is I will read, I will channel a lot of information. I'll say, I'm picking up that this has been your circumstances. This is what you really want. Maybe you're going round and round. Maybe you're in separation. Maybe you're in an unhappy connection, but you still want them. Am I going to be the reader that says to you, well, that's not right for you, you need to move on? No, I'm a person that says, you can have what you want. Let me help you. Either you want them or you don't want them. Let's talk about how you could select a new version of self and shift this situation. We've had really a lot of success in that area, but it's up to you. I'm not here to take your power away to make the decisions for you. And if you have a desire, why would I rob you of that desire? I feel this energy. I also have dreams. It happens. Yeah, Rhea, you feel people's energy. I completely understand. With strong soulmates, you feel their energy very strongly. I have to say, I covered this off a lot on the last live stream that I did. So again, I'm encouraging any of you that missed that. We covered a lot of this information, and the live stream is posted on my YouTube, Talsy Tarot. You are absolutely feeling people. You absolutely have telepathy. There were questions in the last live stream about when things are showing, when you're feeling them, but you're getting very triggered or upset. And as I explained, I think you are having telepathy with people and you're feeling their energy. But again, you're also connecting on this one timeline, so you can still take your power back, recenter your thoughts, create new thoughts and assumptions. Thought transmission's real, telepathy's real. They're going to start thinking and feeling still as the reflection to who you're embodying. So you still can shift your state and get a different result. So if you're having telepathy with a person, you're in separation with them and they're not reaching out, you're like, but I keep feeling them, I keep dreaming about them. Well, you're also anchored into a story where they aren't reaching out to you. And I'm sure they are, of course, interacting with you, but there's something that's blocking things moving in the way that you want them to. I claim him as my husband. Yeah, good. I was healing and got triggered yesterday. It's fine to get triggered, hon. Okay, the other thing, guys, and I spoke about this again in my last live stream, it doesn't matter if you get triggered or you have a bad day. You don't need to be fearful of your thoughts. I spoke at the beginning of the live stream and in the last one about states and who you're embodying and your identity. And we shift in and out of states all the time, guys, sometimes on a daily. You go on a bit of a roller coaster, but it's like, you just don't need to wallow in an old identity. So once you actually realize how powerful you are and understand that even when you're getting triggered, oh, but I'm getting triggered because there is my old identity that embodies that belief. And that's why there's a trigger, because there's a meaning connected to that that's unfavorable and that's part of an old identity, but I don't need to identify as that. So I can shift back into the state. Okay, who am I being? I'm being a version of self that doesn't believe that about self, so therefore the outside isn't bothering me. I'm going to get less and less of that trigger. That person or that situation is going to show up more. So you can take back the power, and you don't need to worry that if you got triggered or you fell down, that suddenly your manifestation isn't going to work. That's crap, guys. You will always get what you want. Nothing can get in the way of your manifestation once you, I've said it earlier in the live, decide who you are being. Okay, and that you get what you want, because if you have a desire, you already have it. There's nothing that can get in the way of that, okay? It's already there. You actually already have it, and all the pieces are moving. You're already on that timeline. Everything is already shifting. There's already movement. And you will start to see movement in places where maybe they're the smaller things. You might see that more quickly. The world is going to start reflecting back to you. The version that you're selecting, your state, is going to, the world is going to mirror back to you more and more and more of that. And little things where you don't have any opposing beliefs or any blocks. Okay, again, I don't even like saying blocks because that's the limiting belief. They're going to just start materializing very fast. Like, what if you embodied the identity which already exists of you being like, I'm the person that always gets what I want. All my desires come to me now. I'm a master at manifesting. If we were to do a reading, would it look the same way it does right now? Okay. And this is what I always tell my private clients. So we always do readings like they're check-ins, and this is why you should not be triggered by readings. I always tell my clients, we do it, we pick up everything, we pick up, and then I always tell them, okay, let's treat this like what you're liking, and what you're not liking, let's just go away and change it and focus on, okay, how can we adjust that? And so, no, that's why actually the cards will change. Tarot is so amazing like that because it really translates energy really, really accurately. So tarot is very real, but like you will continue to get the same cards jumping and popping out when you haven't changed something within yourself, and said specific situation won't shift until you shift, or your assumptions about said specific situation and person. Such a great divination tool. Totally agree and cannot deny the power of it, and that it is so accurate because it is a snapshot or a checking in of what is going on with your subconscious and your reality that you have created from that subconscious. And now as conscious creators, right, also what we're creating consciously, so we don't need to be so at mercy if the tarot is showing us something, it's not perfect. We're like, great, I can perfect it, no problem. Even if the same cards don't come out, the same storyline will come out one way or another, unless you change the story. Yeah. Or if the story is great, keep the story, right? Talsy, you're beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Cheryl Lee, Melissa liked the live. Okay. I don't know how long I've been on for. Hello, that divine connection video completely 100% accurate, amazing. Thank you. Yes, Cheryl Lee, unless you change your story. Unknown's writing some nice comments. That's sweet. Thank you. Some compliments. Yeah. Desi joined. Hi, everyone that's joining. I'm gonna probably cut it off now. Thank you, Johan, because I have somewhere that I need to be, but I just wanted to hop on and continue this. Good night from Ireland, Cheryl Lee. Yeah, thank you. Good day, good night from LA. Thanks for a great explanation. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So anyone that wants to watch the full live replay, I'm going to repost it on my YouTube channel, Talsy Tarot, and you can check it out there. And I love you guys so much. Good night from Wales. Yeah, it's always awesome that everyone's joining me from all over the place. Love you too, Bella. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Ria, it's my pleasure. Love and light to you too. Thank you, Carrie. Awesome. Okay, I'm sending you guys so much love, and really do hope it helped you. And I will hop on soon again, and I'll see you guys soon.